Hello patrons, I hope everyone is well. Something a little frustrating has just happened recently. I received an email, and it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely going to affect some of the stuff that I'm doing on the channel, and I wanted to let you all know before I tell the channel, and always keen to get your thoughts. But before I tell you, I'm just at the oval. I'm going to run off some frustration, essentially in between sort of, I guess, the off season when I'm not training for cycling. I do a little bit of running, and what I normally do is what I call the 66, which is 6Ks of running and 60 burpees. And I start off with 20 burpees, I run 3Ks, then I do 20 burpees in the middle, then I finish off the remaining 3Ks to make it 6Ks, and I do 20 burpees at the end. So there's your 66, and I find when I'm not cycling all that often, it's a good way to keep a bit of tone and also to keep the belly down. So I'm going to get into it, and then I'll share with you afterwards.
What are you telling them?
I'm telling them about Daddy was preparing to train for a race, and I'd started a YouTube series, and I got an email from one of my good friends, Cam McKim. You know Cam? Yeah. He was a groomsman in my wedding.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, we knew that his wedding was at the end of October, but I forgot that he'd be having a bucks party, or there was no invite sent out. So I locked in the event to train for the Masters.
Yeah. And
then I got an email 3 days ago from his brother who's organising the bucks, saying that the bucks party is the same day as the nationals.
But you have to go to the nationals.
No, well, I can do the nationals any year, but he's a very good friend of mine. To not go to his bucks parties would be a pretty selfish thing, I think. They only get married once, hopefully.
Did you go to his wedding?
No, I'm going to go to his wedding at the end of October. So that's the conundrum. I've started this YouTube series. What do you think about that, Holly?
Good.
Okay. We're just in between gymnastics. Holly's got gymnastics next, and Ruby's at gymnastics now, hence why I just try and fit in a little bit of running. You've been practicing your handstands, Holly. But yeah, essentially I've started this YouTube series. I know some of you have been watching it, training for the Men's Masters, Nationals, Criterium and Road Race. And 3 days ago I get this email that there's a bucks party in Melbourne, one of my very closest mates, and I have to do it. I have to go to the bucks. So the thing is, I've got this series on the channel. I'd be keen to get your thoughts. I can do another event. The only consideration is the event is quite an elite event to do the Masters Nationals. It's quite a big event, so I thought it'd be pretty cool. There's nothing around the same time that's at that same sort of level. So let's get the lighting. That's a bit better. Walk backwards. So I think I'll keep the series running for the time being, and I'll try and identify an event that's kind of at the same level. The one consideration I did have, which I thought would be interesting, but I'd need to be all in on this, is that the Men's Nationals road race, which is the elite men's, which anyone can do. I can actually do it. I don't have to qualify. So that would be competing against the likes of Richie Port, and like the pros, the Australian pros come back and do the nationals because they want to win the national titles. I could do it. Now, I'd have no chance, but the interesting thing would be, just as a regular bloke who took up cycling in their late 20s, now approaching 40, to compete, try and compete and see how far I could get. So that's a consideration. That's in January. So be keen to get your thoughts below, and I'll catch you guys in my next YouTube video.